Good morning, everybody. We're coming in a little late this morning, but that's all right. Just so everybody know, we'll throw the disclosure up. Trading is risky. This is for entertainment purposes only. All right. There we go. Let's see. Make sure everybody can see the numbers. Okay. I've got a second screen going to be put up before too long, so everybody on YouTube doesn't have to watch me changing things every morning. Let me get up in Discord real quick. Okay. Oh, shit. Wrong button. Make sure. We got what we got here. Everything working good. Okay. This off. Okay. And let me know. Let everybody in Discord know that we are live. Okay. So what did the overnight do? We came down, we came back up. Looks like we just took went up, dropped down in London, made a nice double bottom down there, basically triple bottom. Okay. Came up, we have not broken the London high. And we got a nice big push down right there. Alright. So we have inverted that fair value gap. Let's see if it will hold. There's an inversion. And that is 50% of the dealing range, 50% of the DRT. Oh, let me get some lights on here, guys, so we don't look like we're sitting in a dungeon. Oh, sitting up last night, and I have to say, last few nights my sleep schedule hasn't quite been the greatest because of recent current events here in the U.S. Titan. Sometimes my mind just gets to going and lose track of time, and next thing I know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh, and I lay down to try to get at least a good 4.5 hours of sleep before we get up to start trading. So it has been a bit difficult. Um, so why does I keep wanting to go so small? I'll have to check it out and see. Okay, I've got a little different setup on my charts today because um, until I get the second monitor, we took the Russell off the charts just simply because I don't trade the Russell. I will typically, I like kind of like having it up to see if it's working with the other markets. When all four markets are moving in the same direction, it's kind of nice to see that, but I need my trading view charts up for my ICT levels and my pivot points. So um, we just took Russell off the chart, off the monitor, uh, and put our trading view charts up here. So we have the YM 15-minute and the YM 2-minute. And we need to get our strategies up and going here. I need to take these off just to make sure we are going to put our strategies on. Not indicators, strategies. There we go. I'll put the bot on here. And we'll put that on our Tradify account. And generator on the Tradify account. Okay, turn those on. And that is the YM. Turn that off. Let's move to YM, not MYM. Okay. All right. Please tell me the chart is going to move. Okay. All right. Good. All right. So let's put this on YM. Let's change that to 3, and that to 1. Actually, let's do 2 there, 1 there. Turn the generator on. Okay. Now let's get it set up on NQ as well. We'll put that one on the elite count. is MNQ. NQ. Settings. Q. Settings. Turn the generator on. Okay. So we are looking at NQ. And YM for the trades. Yes, will just be confirmation of market movement. uh, Goodness. All right. So we are set and ready to go. Oh, okay. Shit, no, we're not. So I wanted to do this. Turn everything off. Let me go to the 1 minute charts. Oh, really? Add 1 minute. Okay. Apply. Okay. 1 minute chart. Minute chart. And 1 minute chart. Okay. Everything's moving along. All right. Now we can turn these back on. I am go through the process just to make sure everything is up and running correctly. Turn the generator on. Yeah, sleep has been a little messed up lately. I need to get back on a good schedule. Start getting up early again, get back into my routine. Good morning. All right. that's there. We got about 7 minutes to open. Oh yeah. Uh, yeah, you can't hesitate, man. If the setup's there, you got to take it, regardless of the win or loss. I mean, yeah, what's the difference if you lose the trade? So what? Then you got to win two trades or even one trade to pass the account. You can't be afraid when you get close to something. So, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, well, I mean, we all go through it. Well, I mean, I've done it too. Even, you know, especially when you're about to pass your first account or so, first few accounts, it's hard to get out of that mindset. But oh man, we got coming out. We got GDP numbers coming out this morning, right? They already came out at 30, or did they? I gotta look. All right. Actually, I think we do. I think GDP numbers come out today. There's something out this morning. I just don't remember what time it came out. It's going to come out after the open, or if it came out before the number, before the open. Let me get back to the computer just step outside real quick. And tomorrow, I think uh, I can't remember shit. Not to mention the fact that I got to bed last night, or actually this morning at about 4 o'clock this morning, uh, and woke up at 8:45. Like I said, my brain's just kind of been all over the place the last few days. Uh, just lose track of time. My brain, and just lose track of time. Uh, Looked up and the clock said 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like, shit, I'm gonna get about 4 hours of sleep. Uh, shit. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. New home sales comes out at 10 o'clock. And then tomorrow is GDP and unemployment, and then PCE on Friday. Okay, cool. Oh, all right, who all do we got in here so far? All right, cool. And let's get YouTube back up to the screen everybody wants to see. Oh man. All right. I am not able to watch YouTube at the moment, so uh, Chris, if you're watching, yeah, it's if we can, yeah, it's not as flat as I would like, but it is close enough. Uh, and that's what I was about to tell Chris if he's watching on YouTube, that we do sort of have a narrow state. Not the best of states, but it is nonetheless a narrow state. I am on the 1 minute chart for my lower time frame for the Autobot, but I do have the 2 minute chart up on TradingView for YM. I switched to the 1 minute charts for the bots because I want to be able to get signals a little bit faster and have a tighter stop loss. Well, not tighter, but just get the signals quicker. So price doesn't move as far before the bot enters the trade. That should have swept the London high, that candle, so I'm going to be a little reserved unless that candle, yeah, it did. Um, that swept the London high, so unless that candle closes strong to the upside, I will not be turning the bot on because that may just be a sweep of the London high to go back lower. We've been breaking all-time highs, and I would expect a little bit more of a significant pullback on either the 1 hour or 4 hour chart than what we've had so far. Uh, unless the economic numbers just keep coming out uh, good, then uh, you never know. So the inverted fair value gap on the 15-minute chart did hold, and we are um, closing strong on that candle. So I'm going to turn the bot on for longs and see if we can't get some continuation there. YM is already, or NQ is already fallen below VWAP. So I think I'm going to turn shorts on for NQ. Let's see if we can't get a little bit of a momentum trade there. We missed the bearish signal on NQ, but hopefully we can get us a continuation signal here before too long. We do have a bullish signal on YM now. So that 1 minute candle needs to close. And that is the close. And it did not get us in the trade. Oh, everything's on. Wait for bar close. It's not on. Why didn't we get in that trade? That is a little upsetting. Let's see if it enters on the candle after we did get into a NQ trade. Almost hit target and it bounced, so let's hope it comes back down and hits target there. We hit our first target and we hit our full target. There we go. Alright, we do not yet have a trade on YM. Why? Why? YM. Why? Everything is on. So I don't understand why. I'm going to throw a quick buy market on that for 2 contracts. We will place our stop just below the pivot point. I'm just going to have to trade that manually till I figure out why we're not getting in the trade. I think I was a little late there. I wanted to hit the button up around 10 or 12 ticks. So let's hope that that pivot point holds and this doesn't take us out of the trade. No, took us out. Okay. So we're still out of the trade. Position. Why are we still in that trade? Shit. Flatten everything. That sucks. It took us off of it on the chart, but it did not take us off. Oh, fuck. Alright. See what happens here. Of course, hitting a manual trade takes all the strategies off the charts. So let's get NQ back up, see if we get a bounce off of the 9 on YM or move back up. Okay, that is a color change off of the 9, so I'm going to turn longs on YM. Hopefully we catch the trade. Okay, not held below the pivot point yet. Have it held back above it. this on 3 contracts. Take that off. Looks like we may not hold. What happens when we get to the 21 or VWAP? Get a nice strong candle back above the 9 and the pivot point here off the 21, then we might have a little bit of luck in it along. A little bit bigger of a hit on YM than I wanted to take this morning, but I don't know why. Oh, never mind. I do know why. I went in with 3 contracts and I only stop lost 2 of them because I am trying to trade the bot. It didn't take a trade, so I manually entered and did not stop loss all 3 contracts. Okay, my error. That extra contract cost us about an extra $250. I'm going to turn longs off on YM until that 9 can get back up into an upward position here. Let's see if we can get a little strength. And then close above that pivot point. Okay. Go ahead and turn longs on. If this holds the pivot point in the 9, we're good. If not, no, we may be looking at going short down into all that liquidity that's below us. Oh, ES and Q are still below. VWAP. See if they can stay that way. Or if they're going to want to come back up. All right, we know we've got a bullish signal here on YM. Let's see if it takes this trade. I'm wondering if it's because if it's not take, it's because it took NQ, but it didn't take YM. I wonder if that's something with having the bot on multiple charts. at the same time. I'll have to ask Doug about that, see if he can research it. No, it just did not take that trade, which I'm fine with because it looks the market's looking a little weak up here. Stochastics aren't set up the way I'd like them to be for a shorter pullback here, but the 15-minute candle is about to close, so we'll see what the next 15-minute candle does. And the 15-minute candle is not really showing a lot of strength on the close. Good morning. Oh, all right. Um, you might want to click on my icon and push my volume up on your side. I don't talk very loud to begin with, um, so see if you can push my volume up on your end. The right, I think it's a right click on my icon. It's been a while since I've had to do that. I will try to remember to talk a little louder. It is a bad habit of mine. Uh, oh, let me go into my settings real quick and just make sure my volumes are all the way up. Okay, I had a little bit of room left for my volume. We are at the 50% DRT level, so we could consolidate here for a little while. Uh, oh, am tempted to go short here if this pivot point keeps showing resistance. Get out of my way. Let me look at the 1 minute chart on Trading View. See which way we fair value gap out of this little range here. Oh, and that would be the 5 minute orb trade. If we can get a fair value gap out of this range. Ooh. We do still have the 15-minute order block and fair value gap below us that we we tapped yesterday afternoon. We tapped the midline of that order block and fair value gap, and that's when we shot back up. But I think maybe we come down and actually rebalance that fair value gap. But never know. Never know. There's our fair value gap. If we can close below the 5 minute range here, the top of that's going to be 744. We're already at 40-point stop. Alright, I'm going to take it. It didn't close outside of range, but I don't want price getting too much further away from me here. So we're entered at 85. I'm going to put my stop here. We've got 20 ticks, so I'm going to take one off here. I'm going to take another one off there. Move my stop to break just below break even, which is just above the 1 minute 200. All right, we've got 40 ticks in profit. I'm going to bring my stop down a little bit further. Now we got to leave it above the 200 because we may come back and retest that. Holy shit. Yeah, that one nailed us harder than I thought it did. So let's see if, as we just closed below 15-minute gap, that this is the start of the middle of a 15-minute candle. We need to actually close a 15-minute candle below that inverted gap. Oh, and we could run down into this fair value gap that we hit the midline on and possibly rebalance that gap. So I don't want to put my stop too tight here, and not to mention I need to cancel that order since I am on only one contract. I don't want to be doing that. I get back in the habit of manually trading. I've been relying on the bots so much, but this morning something's not working on YM, and I've got to find out why. So this is a very good bare 180 candle on the 15-minute chart for YM. So I am looking to kind of trail this down a bit uh, on the last contract. Hmm. See if we can't get a little bit bigger day on that. I do not know what happened to my Tradeify account there, but that looks like we hit max daily loss. Uh, unless something didn't close on that. I'm not sure what happened there. No, I do know what happened. Again, this is I really, 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 really got to start paying more attention and probably not trade when I wake up with only 4 hours of sleep because when I set up the strategies, I put the strategy, uh, I put the strategy on my Tradeify account for YM, but on the chart, I am on my uh, ETF account. So it has been taking the trades as the signals come, but I'm not seeing them because I'm not on the right account on my chart. So my bad, just basically uh, my dumbass. This is not a bot problem, folks. This is an operator error, um, and basically just blew that account because I only have $63 left in drawdown. Or no, I may have just blown the account because that's a negative $63 in drawdown. So uh, yeah, that's on me. The bot was actually taking trades. I just didn't know it because I had the wrong account on my ninja chart. Uh-huh. 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 Well, we all live and learn. Getting pretty close to the rebill on that one. So I'm not upset about it. Even if I wasn't close to the rebill, I'm not upset about it. Oh, we'll just get another one. All right. That's a color change off the 9 on YM to the downside and staying below the 200. Where are we at? 2 minutes left on the 15-minute chart. I really want to see this close through the inverted gap so that it's not just, yeah, I'm not going to take a short yet until I see that close through the inverted gap. Ugh. I know we did close through it once before, but I just need to see it. So basically, this is a balanced price range in this area. That, and being a balanced price range, we could just, again, we could just consolidate in this area for a little bit. Um, NQ is ripe for a uh, 10 o'clock reversal, even if it's just a pullback. Stochastics are nice. Everything's nice and low, bunched up down here. Uh, so I am going to turn longs on that strategy. That one is set to the right account, even in the strategy. So, dun, 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 yeah, NQ is set to that. So we'll leave that there. Uh, let's see if we can't get a little bit of a bounce back up, maybe on the 5-minute chart. Go retest the 200 there. We are in a long. We have broken above the 200. And I'm going to move target up to VWAP. Uh, for the last contract, came back down to the 9. Let's see if we can get back above the 21 and hold it for the reversal. Lesson for the day: double check all your work when you only have 4 hours of sleep and decide to get on the charts and trade, so you don't end up blowing an account. I'm going to move my stop up just a little bit here, reduce some of the risk, because I do want us to stay above the 9 here. Now that the 9 has turned up, and we want the 9 to be stronger than the 21 at this point. So if it fails, um, we may still stay in consolidation here for a little bit, and we can always try again, but we definitely want to mitigate the risk here. Uh, YM is kind of not showing us any kind of strength yet on the 15-minute chart. I was hoping we were going to get a fair value gap there, but we didn't. So, all right. So that's a loss on NQ of $61 so far. So that's all right. No big deal there. We may just need to stay squeezed down here a little bit longer. Um, Before we get that trade, if we get that trade. I am biased towards the downside here. Just because we've been up around and breaking all-time highs for a little while here. Do expect us to get some kind of a pullback. Looks like that 5-minute fair value gap is holding on NQ, um, but I could very well expect that to change. There she goes. Shit, we're gonna go ahead and buy that manually. Turn that off, because that is a nice big bar. And we'll set our stop at the bottom of that bar. See if we can't get up here to VWAP, and we will start taking contracts off when we get close to VWAP. I'll go ahead and move my stop up a little bit. It looks like we're going to get a fair value gap here, and I would want that to hold to get us up to VWAP. Oh, that did get us through that inverted gap as well. Stay below that. Keep our stop below that inverted 1 minute gap on this side right here. See if that can stay. We are back down to the 21. Good thing we decided to adjust that. And it's a logical adjustment because I noticed the fair value gap to the upside, but I didn't look to the left to see this inverted gap. And that inverted gap should be strong enough to hold if we're going to continue up. And if it doesn't, then I'm wrong. And we'll take that loss. All right. Well, we got that loss. All right. So right now, nothing. Um, we inverted that 5 minute gap, and it looks like it's going to be a fake flip because we are so far back below it. What do we got? We just started this candle, so let's see if that 5 minute inverted gap holds or we have a fake flip to the downside. Nice, flattened. We got our color change. We got to pull back to it. I'm going to sell on one contract on YM. I'm going to step into the trade here with one contract. But I need to see this reject a little bit here. We're above the 2 minute 200. We just broke below the 1 minute. Do have a lot of buy wicks down here below, right at yesterday's close. So I want to see what we're doing do with VWAP here, and I will probably put my stop just a little above VWAP and see if the downside of VWAP is going to hold for everybody. Let's see, NQ and YM is below VWAP at the moment, and or NQ and ES. YM just came below VWAP, so let's see if that holds and the entire market starts moving to the downside. Do want to see us get back into downward positioning on the SMAs, which we are on the 2-minute, with the exception that they're not below VWAP yet, or below the 200 yet. So this is trying to catch continuation to the downside a little early, and I'm okay with that. We did break structure on the 2-minute chart, so we could just consolidate here and then finally push down again for another leg. But again, on the higher time frame, the 4-hour DRT, we are at equilibrium, which can cause a lot of consolidation. So ooh. If what I expect to happen today, which is, like I said, a little bit of a pullback on the higher time frames from the all-time highs, um, this could be the start. And if it is, getting in here with one contract is going to allow me to add to the trade once my SMAs set up correctly. Uh, and be able to catch a pretty decent move off of it. But right now, the market's really not showing much in either direction. So this is just being aggressive and trying to catch the right move, which doesn't always work out well, um, admittedly. So, you know, that's why you should never follow other traders, uh, never take the same trades as other traders. Just like in life, think critically, think for yourself, and make your own decisions. Because I have no problem if I blow up a couple of accounts here. Um, I'm perfectly okay with it. I'm a couple weeks into these accounts, and I will get more and more aggressive with them the closer I get to the rebills. Because if I'm going to pay another monthly fee, I want to be either very close to passing um, or or past. So if I'm going to pay a monthly fee, I might as well start fresh on that monthly fee and have the account blown at that point. And just use the rebill as a reset. Question is, are we going to stay below the 1 minute 200 and are we going to push back below the 2 minute 200 and stay there? Let's see, the 2 minute 21 is at 698. Okay, so I'm above that for my stop loss. So I'm 4 points above that for, let's go 5 points above that. It is turning to the downside, which is good, but we still have to get below the 200. And frankly, we still have to get close back below the 9 on the 2 minute chart as well. The 9 has been holding us as support for the time being. So really need to see us get back below that. I'm going to take this inverted gap off because we've been through that a few times. It's really no longer valid. Uh, I'd really like to see us get down here and rebalance this gap down here inside this order block. And that'll get us down to the 75 DRT level as well, where we could actually see the reversal to go higher. So the 200 here is at the devil's number, 66. 46 would be 20 points back to the bottom of the range. I'm going to go ahead and add onto my trade here. And keep my stop above VWAP. We are below the 15-minute 200 as well. But the 15-minute SMAs need to flip, which means the 9 needs to come down and get below the 21. Right now, the 21 has been holding pretty strong. So we're entering back into the narrow state on the 2-minute chart, although the 21 on the 2-minute chart is now in a 45-degree down angle. So we're kind of hoping that holds and continues to the downside, which would pull the 15-minute 9 back down as well. And the 21 is crossing below VWAP, so average price so far for the day is keeping us below VWAP. At least on the shorter time frames. Hmm. Was looking at my funded futures yesterday, and they have end of day drawdown 50K accounts with no activation fees for $77. So we've got to make up our mind uh, where we want to be trading at. The one thing I really don't like about Elite Trader funding is that if you hit your daily loss limit, they close the account, even if you haven't hit your full max loss limit. So you're not allowed to hit your daily loss limit at any given day. Um, to me, the daily loss limit is a protection so that you don't hit your max drawdown. Um, to punish a trader for hitting the daily loss limit, uh, I don't agree with. But these accounts were uh, $30 each, so went ahead and picked them up, and I completely forgot about that with them. I knew it from before, but just forgot about it and hit the daily loss limit on one of the accounts the day I got them. Um, because if I get three accounts, I'm going to trade one really aggressively and see if I can't get it there quickly, and then try to work the other two for a little while until I get close to the rebill, and then get more aggressive with them again, so that I either pass them or use the rebill as a reset. Uh, Come on, YM. Everybody's around VWAP. Nobody's breaking through, so let's just go ahead and move it on down to the downside. Sounds good to me. So, manipulation move. All right, that's fine. Where is, there's that. There is the 50% line. Let's see what happens there. That's what I'm interested in. We make a double top for use later in the day or another day, or do we swipe that high but stay below 50%? Alright, so we have this 2-minute inverted fair value gap to watch. And the midline of that is right at 50%. I am selling again. And the top of that gap is 721. The real question is, with news coming out tomorrow, how much of a range are we going to have today, right? So let's take a look at 15 minute. Where did we start the day? Right here. So far, from the bottom to the top, is 174 points. I would expect a little bit more than that. We could always take out these equal lows here on the 15 minute and go retest the previous day's low at the 75% DRT, which is really what I'm looking to do, what I'm wanting to do. We just need to get some confirmation that we're going to do it. And we've got a lot of liquidity or resistance, depending on which that becomes down here to take. So we are below the today's open. We need to get below yesterday's close. And I need to get, why don't I have that? I should always have that on there. I don't know why. Key levels. Okay. So the Asia low and London low is down here. That we still, oh yeah, uh, we didn't actually break the London low. We just got to it and pulled back up. So the weekly open is here as well, which again, being at all-time highs for several days, I would expect us to have a decent sized pullback. Unlike the hourly or 4-hour chart, so I am not opposed to breaking below the week's open. Obviously, we've already been down there, unless that was, yeah. We broke the weekly open yesterday, and now we're just kind of consolidating here. So this was a good start to the push down on the 15-minute chart yesterday. Well, from that all-time higher, So I'm basically looking for a continuation of that. And we just made a double top on the 15-minute, and that is significant because that is now going to create a good liquidity pool above those double tops. But I wouldn't expect that we're going to go out and take that liquidity pool out right away. That's a liquidity pool that I would say that the market's going to want to hold on to for a little while. And use at a later date to get back above those all-time highs again. Maybe later in the week, maybe next week. It would be my guess. From the looks of the 4-hour DRT level, my theory is that we're going to go take out the 4-hour low that created that DRT level. Those that don't know what DRT levels are, check them out. It's dealing range theory. There's a couple of people out there that teach it. It's an ICT concept, and it will pretty much blow your mind if you can get it right. So if we can continue to hold below that 50% level And every time we get above it is when we get our strongest candles to the downside. So would like us at least to see us get down to the 7.5 or previous day's low. So this short on YM may be a trade that we're holding for a while if we start moving in the direction uh, that I expect us to. Where's the 9? 694. Okay, so we're well above the 9, 15-minute 9 SMA and the 200 with our stop loss. 691 is the 50%. So we're 30 points above that. The reaction off of that midline on that 2-minute inverted fair value gap was a pretty strong reaction. That again is keeping us below VWAP. But we have this one last little fair value gap down here on the 15-minute chart that's, causing us some resistance at the moment. Um, I am, because VWAP is holding very well. The one time we went above VWAP, it got slapped down pretty hard. I'm going to go ahead and sell one more contract here so that I can move my stop a little bit closer to VWAP. And we are getting down to those 15-minute lows where this last fair value gap is. So if we can break through that, I want to be in full size on my contracts, which is 3. I was back testing at 5 contracts for a while there, and the numbers worked out great. But you know, to put it in practice in live, 3 contracts is enough for me. I'm not looking to go full 5 contracts on these trades. These are minis, so 3 is enough. Oh, is it Andrea that drives the blue truck? She said she'd be back to get you in a while. She drove out. She was going somewhere. She said, "Tell your mom I'll be back to get her later." Is she going back over to look at? Oh, oh, okay. Maybe that's what she was talking about. I don't know. Oh, well, I mean, that was like 30, 45 minutes ago when she left. Yeah. Oh, okay. Me and you both. Ah, oh, me and you both. All right, come on, let's stay below the 21 here. That would give us a little ray of sunshine. Just doesn't want to get below yesterday's closing price. We are in a narrow state on the 1 minute. We are in a narrow state on the 2 minute. So let's be looking for that power bar and let's just keep our fingers crossed that it's to the downside. What time is it? 10:30. See if we can get that 11 o'clock move back down to the downside. London slammed down pretty hard, if I remember correctly. Better double check that. Yeah. Yeah, London slammed down pretty hard. Uh, no, that was 145. Oh, yeah, here it is. From the highs, London from the Asia high took out the Asia high and slammed pretty hard to the downside. So see if the London close can push us back down into that area or further. Mm. Oh. That's another big 15-minute buy wick, but so I certainly could be wrong here. Mm. Oh. Mm. We're going to go up into SVWAP again. Yeah, I know we got news coming out tomorrow, but geez, we could move a little bit today. Uh, oh, What I think is always super funny, I think about the fact that, my YouTube channel is up as well, and there might be somebody that stops in and looks at my YouTube channel and they're going to look down at my profit and loss. And the first thing they're going to say is, this guy sucks. And they're going to leave. Oh, not realizing the story behind it, that I was just an idiot, didn't have the right accounts listed on my charts. Well, what 4 hours of sleep will do to you. Mm. Can we close the 15-minute bar below the 21? That is the question. Start running through some of this liquidity down below us. You know what? Oh, I know what it looks like. Do I pay attention to that or not? I probably should. Just, hmm. Let's see. If this trade gets stopped out, we close back above the 9 and the 200 on the 15 minute, and this trade gets stopped out, then I'll entertain longs at that point, because we are holding the 50% again of this 15-minute inverted gap. Nothing is closed since we inverted it here. Nothing is closed below the 50% line of that inverted gap. And even though I would like to see us go lower, we are below equilibrium on the 4-hour dealing range. Uh, so we kind of want to see, either are we going to go down here or are we going to break back above VWAP and head back up towards the high of day. Uh, Everything is moving up, but it's not up there strong to where I would say it would reverse. So I don't know. Looks like ES is about to break view up, or at least test it. We'll see what it does with it. The 5-minute charts are still, the 5 and the 21s are still facing down, but they haven't broken completely below the 200 yet. So there is a possibility that we still go up. It's not my theory, it's not my thesis for the day, but it's a possibility, so we have to keep it in mind that if we just can't close below this inverted fair value gap and the midline just continues to hold, um, then we may be looking to go back up to the upside, but price just keeps pushing down to try to get through it and eat up all those orders down there that are holding it up. Uh, so the question is, which way do we go? And I just decided to follow what I think the market's going to do based on DRT levels and knowing what price typically does when you break highs, you have pullbacks, or if you break lows, you have pullbacks. Um, so I am looking for that larger pullback off of breaking all-time highs. Just don't know if we're going to get it today. We are in a very narrow state on the 200, or the 2 minute. I mean, you just can't get. Oh, there we go. Never mind. What the? Oh, that's a 2 hour. What the hell am I doing there? We were on the 2 minute, weren't we? Okay. You don't get any more of a narrow state than that. So where is our power bar going to be? 711 is that high. So if we break that high, we could definitely be looking at longs. 15 minute just broke back above the 200 and the 15-minute 9. See if we get a harsh rejection from here, or we get our power bar to the upside. Mm. 711 is the middle of that inversion. So that was not a power bar, but it did close above VWAP, which is the first bar in this range to do so. Oh, it's going to be one of those days where I end up with a 3 or 4 hour trade. Not exactly my ideal day, but oh, that's starting to look like a power bar. We cleared the last 5 candles to the downside. It's almost twice as big as the last 10 candles. Got to push a little bit further. Closing strong at the bottom. But is that just a fake out to then head higher? Or do we get a fair value gap to go outside of range? Or do we just sit in this consolidation all damn day long? Gotta love trading. Well, it's almost 11 o'clock. I'd really like to see a displacement bar below this entire range here. If we break this entire 15-minute range to the downside with displacement, then I am definitely looking for us to get down to the 75 DRT level. But we gotta get below yesterday's close and stay there. That's been the price level we just haven't been able to get below and close below. That is a touch into the fair value gap and a retest of the 200 on the 2-minute. With that being one of the stronger candles in the range, if we're going to continue lower, I would expect that fair value gap to hold. There are orders down here at yesterday's close that just will not let price get below it though. Back into the fair value gap again.
I'd like to see another fair value gap made here on the 2 minute chart that breaks through the bottom of this range and yesterday's close to show a little bit of strength. See some bigger players come in to be pushing price down. Because the 1 minute is in alignment for shorts. The 200, the 21, and the 9 are in alignment for shorts. And obviously, price starts on the lower time. Price changes and price shifts to the upside or downside always start on lower time frames. The 2 minute chart is starting to get there. The 9 and the 21 are about to close below the 200, and the 9 and the 21 are below the 200 on the 15 minute, but the 9 is still above the 21. So we need to get that 15 minute 9 pulled down, crossed below the 21 for us to actually be in a downtrend. Of course, the 200 is still pointing up, but we had a huge uh, push off the market open, which did gravitate the 200 towards the upside. So this might be another reason why we're fighting this so hard to get to the downside. Oh, not too good. Gosh, not that I am trading bad, but I got like 4 hours of sleep, and I turned the bot on YM and had the bot set to trade my Tradify account on the strategy, but on the Ninja chart, I had my ETF account on the Ninja chart, so I wasn't seeing the trades that the bot was taking on a different account. So I blew that account. Yeah, yeah, I had it on either longs or shorts. I don't remember which one it was, but uh, yeah. So I wasn't seeing the trades that were being taken because I had the account on the Ninja chart as my ETF account, but I had the strategy running on my Tradify account. Um, because I had it turned on NQ and YM, but it took the NQ trade. I saw that trade because that trade was set up correctly for my ETF account on the chart and the strategy. And I was like, well, why isn't the bot taking, yeah, why wasn't the bot taking the trade on the YM chart? So, and then I ended up taking a manual trade on it on YM as well, which ended up adding to the trade. And it was a losing trade. So, and I was like, wow, shit, that kind of screwed things up. But that's what happens when you only get 4 hours of sleep. Hmm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Well, the good thing is that the Tradeify rebill was coming up soon anyway. So, yeah, that's the silver lining. I would have had to pay the monthly fee on that anyway. So I might as well use the rebill as a reset. Cool. Yeah, because now that NinjaTrader has an actual fair value gap indicator, um, shouldn't be too hard to be able to code that in. Hmm. Cool. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Nice. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm up on this trade. I've been short on YM for like since geez, uh 1020. Yeah, it was is is one of the fair value gaps. Uh, it hit the mid it hit the midline, rejected, then went up and retested, and that's where we got our strong move down. So yeah, I'm short on YM. Three contracts, three minis. So far, we'll have to see what happens. We're about to break the bottom of the 15-minute range or the 15-minute swing low. Um, so if we get displacement through that and get a fair value gap, I'm definitely looking at yesterday's low for a target, which is also the 75% DRT level. So that's what we're that's what we're hoping for. No, we broke below 50% of the DRT range yesterday afternoon, and then we pushed back up this morning, but then fell back below 75 or back below 50%. That's where all the consolidation's been happening is at 50%. And this is really the first good break below the 50% uh, level other than the London low. Um, and we just blasted through the London low uh, on the 15-minute chart. So yesterday's low is the first time we pushed below the 50% level. Yeah, and we just broke both. Not yet, not yet. Yeah, this one was a manual trade, but I am going to go ahead and move it into profit now since we got this strong 15-minute candle, uh, and we just broke through the weekly open. So hopefully that's not just another liquidity sweep of the weekly open. We actually go down. I think we should go back down to the 75% level, and we could push back up to highs from there. But I'm I'm of the mind we're actually going to go sweep the 4-hour DRT low before we head back up, which is the previous week's midline. Uh, because if we get back, yeah, yeah, and the previous week midline is uh, down at the 4-hour uh, DRT low, so we can go sweep the midline of last week's range. That's a good position for us to head back up from. Yeah. Uh, just so everybody knows, we are 1 minute away from the 15-minute bar close. We are below some levels. I am going to take two contracts off of this trade and go ahead and lock in that profit because we were at 85 points in profit, and we are reaching back down into this fair value gap that I'm looking for us to go rebalance. But we could get a shorter time frame pullback to like the 9 SMA. And if we do that, then I will add back into the trade, but I'm going to run one contract from here out. Okay, sorry, Greg. I am simulcasting on YouTube, so yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, nice. I look forward to it, definitely. So I don't want to see too much of a pullback on this 15-minute displacement bar that broke the lows. I would like to see it just another 15-minute bar get down to that previous day's low. Um, so on the uh, actually, where is 625 is the 2-minute 9. So I want to be stop loss just above that, a couple ticks, because that's two fair value gaps. Price would have one fair value gap it would have to get to it, and then two fair value gaps on the 2-minute chart to actually stop me out. If I go to 37, yeah, okay. Um, but we're not far away. Previous day's low is 545, so we got about another 50 points or to get down there. Oh, Actually, I'm going to do this off the 1 minute nine. Kind of put my stop loss between the 1 minute nine and the 1 minute 21. I'd like to see the 1 minute just hold here uh, and get us another 15-minute bar to the downside from here. Weekly open is at 606. Stop is at 617. So I'd like the weekly open to kind of hold there. And London low. I don't want to see this thing go all the way back and fail to make a fair value gap on that strong of a 15-minute bar, because if it doesn't make a fair value gap, then this could just very well be a liquidity sweep. Yeah, absolutely. I look at it as pretty much the same explanation as a fair value gap created on a higher time frame should show you the strength of the market uh, in that direction. So if we don't make a fair value gap here, then that big 15-minute bar that's getting everybody in short is just going to be a fake out. If it's a true big money move, then big money is not going to allow price to go all the way back up to where this to where we broke the previous candle's low. Hmm. Yeah, because we were fighting up there for like an hour, hour and a half just to get the nine to roll over and get back below the 200 SMA. And the nine still hasn't gotten below the 21. So we still aren't in alignment on the SMAs to actually be in a downtrend yet. But I was preempting that move with my bias for the day based on DRT levels and the fact that we had been breaking all-time highs, and at some point we have to pull back from that. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, if I just had actually had my technical side set up right correctly this morning, we'd be golden. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Right. Right. And that's just time on the charts and experience. That's all it takes. Uh, that, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love waiting for everything to be lined up, but when I have a really good feeling based on my ICT experience and DRT levels, that that's these are the days where I preempt every indicator that's on my charts. And I don't suggest anybody do that until they have the experience in to be able to see that happening. So I do have my target set at 46,551. 545 is the previous day's low. So we're front running the previous day's low a little bit on our last contract to get out of it. And my stop loss is now because the 1 minute 21 has now dropped below my stop loss. I will not be moving my stop loss. So it's either we're already in a winning trade, we've already locked in profit. It's just a matter of whether we get stopped out for profit or actually reach our target at this point. Yeah, yeah, it really is. Patience and risk management will make you a better trader than catching catching perfect trades. Right. Mhm. We are tapping back up into the 5 minute fair value gap. So looking for that to kind of hold and then get our push back down to go reach that target. But we are getting pretty close to our stop. We're only about 13 points away from our stop. For the time being, we are holding our, oh wait, 46,595. Why has why has our, oh, there it goes. Okay. It's like, why did the chart stop moving? I've had that issue too. I finally figured it out. I talked to Doug about it. My chart locking up because I forgot to turn the strategies off when I changed from, yeah. Well, it's looking, yeah, yeah. Well, and I mean, when London opened, it took the Asia high and then just swept straight down. Uh, New York went back up to take the London high, but at the London close at 11 o'clock is when we started getting our movement to the downside, which was the original movement of the London session to begin with. So all the London traders are pushing price down along with the U.S. traders at that point. So right now, we're up. Right now, we're up $800 on the trade. Um, and nice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know what that means, right? You know what, yeah. So I'm gonna switch over to my Discord for just a second here on the screen because that means uh, that Easel is funded trader. Way to go, man. Way to go. Well, yeah. Been a while coming, but it feels good, don't it? Hell yeah. And I mean, this is a really good point for anybody. I don't know who else is in this live right now. You know, when Easel started learning how to trade not very long ago, um, we were we were all kind of still trying to get a uh, specific setup down or trading strategy he that he liked and worked for him. And he tried several different things, but then he found something, and which is the 5 minute ORB trade in the mornings. And he literally has not traded anything but that probably 90 to 95% of the time um, since he found success with it. So he became really good at it. And that trade alone, I know he's taken a couple of other setups that he knows, but very rarely. But that setup alone that he got good at is what got him to the point of passing his first evaluation, not trying 15 different setups and five different strategies and this, that, and the other. He got good at one thing, and that got him to where he is today. Congratulations, man. Yeah, I mean, when I got you back into trading, uh, I had learned a lot of different strategies and had more or less kind of built my own setup from several different strategies. And I'm still refining that. You'll never stop refining it or getting making your edge in the markets a little bit better. But so it's just a matter of finding that one thing that works for you because I showed Easel probably 10 different setups that he can work on. And it took him finding the one that he liked the best, that worked best for him in his situation, his work situation, his the way he looks at the markets, all of that put together. Um, and just like the host just said, every strategy works, but every strategy doesn't work for every person. You have to find what works for you. Ain't it though? There you go. That was your biggest thing. Yeah. I know that was the hardest thing. The hardest psychological point for Easel to get past was accepting the losses. Yeah. Hmm. Nice. Well, we just tapped yesterday's low, and the trade got closed for $929 profit. Yep. Absolutely. Oh, all right, everybody. Yeah, that's on the larger side of a daily P&L for me. So, um, you know, uh, that's a 50K. Yeah, yeah. But we did go, I mean, up in the beginning because, like I said, I was in this trade. since 1022. So we did go a couple of times into drawdown on the trade, but never broke the high that I was trading from. So, and then once we got our power candle to the downside, that was all she wrote. I just got in the trade before we actually got our power candle. Again, based on my experience, based on DRT and ICT concepts, I was preempting all the indicators on my chart, which I don't suggest people do. You could have waited for the power candle, got in, never hit your stop loss, never got into drawdown, and been good to go. Um, so, yeah. And I know, I'm not sure if Mike G was here or if Chris was here. Um, when I was explaining this because if you weren't here and you're looking at my profit and loss on my charts, you're going to see a $1,200 loss as well. And the reason that was is because I made a technical error. This wasn't bad trading. I had the strategies set up to trade a certain account, that Tradeify account, but on my NinjaTrader charts, I had the account, my ETF account listed on the NinjaTrader chart. So the bot was taking trades on the account, but I didn't have that account listed, so I wasn't seeing the trades on my chart for YM. So that was a complete technical error. It wasn't the bot's fault. It wasn't, taking bad trades. It was a technical error on my side, and we all make them. We just have to learn from them. I've, I've been using TradingView most of my trading career, and I am still getting used to the ins and outs of making sure everything is set up perfectly on NinjaTrader to make sure I get the results I want. So that was my fault today. It wasn't an actual, what I would call bad trading loss. It was a technical error on my side. So just wanted to point that out. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've used Ninja before. It's just, you know, in the beginning with Apex, I was on Ninja, and it's a much the user interface is a lot more complicated than TradingView. But TradingView is not a broker; it's just a charting platform where NinjaTrader is owned by uh, NinjaTrader, Tradeovate, and oh shit, what's the other one? Um, they're all owned by the same company, so they're a broker and a charting platform. Um, oh shit. Hmm. All the prop firms trade futures. Hmm. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I am going to go take my morning walk and get my breakfast. I appreciate everybody showing up. Everyone's welcome to stick around if Doug and host want to continue discussing some things or answer any questions. But as for myself, all right. As for myself, I am done for the. Yeah. Okay. All right. So enjoyed it, everybody. What's that? Oh, no problem. No problem. It's great for everybody to see the fuck ups I make without making them yourselves. So, if you're not if you're not, yeah. Um, but at least now I know because I'm sure this is also why either yesterday or the day before I wasn't seeing the bot take trades because I didn't have things set up correctly myself. It wasn't it wasn't a bot problem. I don't need to talk to Doug anymore about what's happening because now I figured it out. I know what's going on and I won't make that mistake again. So it's nice for everybody to kind of see that and not have to go through it themselves. But anyway, um, really enjoyed it this morning. I will be on again, of course, tomorrow morning. And until then, I am done for the day. I won't be taking any other trades and posting any little small trades up in the Discord. $929 is enough for me today. So everybody have a great day. Trade well, and we'll see you tomorrow. Yes, yes. Later. You want to go outside? You want to go outside? Huh? Do you want to go outside? Oh, I gotta stop streaming. Everybody on YouTube's going, what the, who the hell is he talking to?